What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to be going over my top 5 ninja cards from Outsiders. Just a warning, I've excluded equipment. We're only going to be talking about cards that get shuffled in the deck. Also, I have no honorable mentions. This will just be a simple top 5 list that I put together. None of it's gospel, and most of it can probably be predicted. And with that out of the way, it's showtime, baby. Let's get it. Okay, so let's jump right into this list. We don't waste time, it's showtime. So coming in at number 5, we have Be Like Water. And Be Like Water, the red version, is a 0 for 3 that blocks for 2, and it says, when this hits, you may pay 1. If you do, choose Head Jab, Surging Strike, or Twin Twisters. This gains the chosen name, and go again. So my first impression is this card was going to be good for limited, but I think it's a nice flexible starter for Katsu and for Benji. Mainly if you're running the surging line, because sure you can choose Head Jab or Twin Twisters, but those are going to be less powerful lines. The Surging Strike line is the most powerful one that you can name this card for. My only hang up with this card, I hope I said that right, that sounded kind of weird, but you get what I'm saying, right? My only hang up with this card for Katsu is that it's only coming in for 3. It's missing that important breakpoint. Or important breakpoints that Katsu is looking for, like 4 or 5, something like that, to get the on hits, yada yada yada. But still, having access to more surging strikes in your deck and a strong starter is fan-freaking-tastic. So that's why this card made the list. Moving on to number 4, we have Head Leads the Tail. Head Leads the Tail. It's a, for the red, it's only comes in red because it's a majestic. Be Like Water was common, by the way, easily accessible. But anyways, we're talking about Head Leads the Tail right now. So it only comes in red. It's a 1 cost for 3 that blocks for 2, and it says, when this attacks, name another card. Attack action cards with that name have +1 this combat chain. This one I would say is more for Benji than Katsu, or really more for Crouching Tiger lists than either Benji or Katsu. If you're running Crouching Tiger, you want to run this card. So whenever Fab prints these mass buff cards, they usually end up pretty strong. Like, for example, Stubby Hammers got banned because it buffed a bunch of attacks by 1 and made Fi really busted. Sure, Head Leads the Tail only names a single card for its pump, but if you're about to throw a whole bunch of Crouching Tigers at your opponent and those get buffed, you know, now they're coming in for 2. You throw an Art of War in the mix, and now they're coming in for 3 to really chew through your opponent's life total. So Head Leads the Tail is a very good card for Crouching Tiger list, in my opinion. That's why it made the list. Moving on to number 3 on the list, we have Spinning Wheel Kick. Spinning Wheel Kick. All right, so Spinning Wheel Kick is a rare. We're going to talk about the red version. It's a 1 that comes in for 4 and only blocks for 2. And it says, combo, if Twin Twisters or Spinning Wheel Kick was the last attack this combat chain, it has +1, and when this hits, put it on the bottom of its owner's deck. Go again. Where do I start with this card? For starters, it's a mid-chainer. It's a starter with its own natural go again. And it's tutorable because it has combo printed on the card. You know, I've been running Flusterfist in list because it's a 0 for 4 that you can tutor up. Same thing with 100 wins. It's a 0 for 3 with natural go again that you can, and combo, that you can tutor up and play. And Spinning Wheel Kick is just, it's pretty much leg tap stats that you can just get from your deck and play. You're not forced. If you're looking for a 4-power attack, like when I would like playing Flusterfist, you don't have to throw it at the end of a chain. You can throw this and still throw something else. It even has a relevant breakpoint. That's why this card is just going into my Katsu decks now. I still run Flusterfist, and honestly, you don't even need to run Twin Twisters. Because you can just use this as a starter. Just run 3 of these, and 1 Cyclone Roundhouse, which is the card this combos with. In the main or sideboard, I'm leaning more towards sideboard for that card. But again, you don't need to run Twin Twisters. I would actually suggest either running 1 single copy or just dropping them all together. Like I said, and just running the 3 Spinning Wheel Kicks, and then having the Cyclone in the sideboard or in main deck if you feel like you need it. Personally, I'd rather just keep it in the sideboard. But in my opinion, this card is very powerful and adds some much needed consistency to Ninja. Coming at number 2, we have Dishonor. Dishonor is a majestic, so it only comes in blue. So yes, it's a blue 2-power attack that blocks for 3 And combo, if Bonds of Ancestry was the last attack this combat chain, this has +2. It also has, when this hits a hero, if you control a Surging Strike, a Descendant Gust Wave, and a Bonds of Ancestry, that hero loses all abilities for the rest of the game. So, just breaking this down initially, it's a lot of everything that Katsu wants in a blue. Just, it's a 0 cost, so it turns on your Kodachis. It blocks for 3. And if you get that on hit to go off, it's devastating. Absolutely devastating. And even though the effect is bonkers, you still have to jump through a few hoops to make it actually work. Because like the card says, you do need a Surging Strike, a Descendant Gust Wave, and a Bonds of Ancestry on the combat chain. So you do need all 4 of these cards. Well, I guess all 3 in the combat chain to make this one go off. Well, technically it'd be 4 because you have this card also, right? And it comes in for 4 with that on-hit effect. Now, sure, it's only coming in for 4, so if you don't have a Ancestral Empowerment or a Razor, they can still block this with a card and equipment to not get wrecked. But you still dealt 15 damage prior to casting this if you cast, you know, the OG Surging Strike, the Descendant Gust Wave, and the Bonds. That's 5, 5, and 5, and this is 4. So that's still tons of damage, and you're probably grabbing cards and equipment, things like that. And I have played with this card a little bit, maybe about 3 or 4 games or something. So you actually can get this off multiple times in a game and put tons of pressure on your opponent and make them fear the power of Ninja. And I'm going to say it again. It's a blue 0 cost that blocks 3 and a relevant combo piece. Like, you're just going to run this card, right? Fan-freaking-tastic. Now, moving on to number 1. And, you probably saw it coming. Number 1 is Bonds of Ancestry. So Bonds of Ancestry and Ancestry, it's a rare, so it comes in red, yellow, and blue. The red version is a 2 cost that attacks for 4, blocks for 3 with combo if a card with Gust Wave, so Descendant or Overwhelming. So a card with Gust Wave in its name was the last attack on this combat chain. This cost 2 resources less to play, so it's free, right? It has Go Again, and when this attacks, you may banish a card with combo from your graveyard. If you do, search your deck for a card with the same name, banish it, then shuffle. You may play it this combat chain. So this whole combat chain could present 19 damage off of just 2 resources. If you go Surging, Descendant, Bonds, and Dishonor. And we just talked about how crazy the effect of Dishonor is, and this card helps you get there. Another YouTuber, TCG Talk, if you haven't seen him, check him out. Awesome, good stuff. He's been shouting from the rooftops about how good the interaction with this card and Breeze Router boots is, and I've tried it, and it's pretty sweet. You use this ability with your boots and another combo card, and you can actually enter another combo line in the same turn. It can even be the same surging lines. You can go Surging, some Gust Wave, Bonds, and throw out a Whelming into McGinty, into Lord of Wind. You can do that. You can do that when this card allows you to do it, along with Breeze Router boots, right? Because it's giving all your cards with combo Go Again. So you just, everything in your deck just has Go Again. As long as it says Go Again or combo, it has Go Again. It's so nice that I've even started running Heart and Cross Strap as my main chess piece in most matchups, just to be able to pop it and throw this whole combo line for free and still split it. Still throw your 19 with the whole Bonds and Dishonor, and using the Bonds to grab something else, throw another 9 or whatever. I don't know. I guess more than 9. You got Whelming going in for 3, McGinty for 5, so that's 8, and then you got your Lord of Wind. Say you're throwing that for like 5. That's like another additional 13 damage you can throw that same turn just by using this combo. It's nuts. It's so good, and this is just the best card for Ninja in the set. Hard to argue it. Yes, it's pretty obvious. It's not just me saying it. It's just good. It's just freaking good. So just to wrap things up, we have Be Like Water at 5, Head Leads the Tail at 4, Spinning Wheel Kick at 3, Dishonor at 2, and Bonds of Ancestry at 1. That's my list. What do you think? What did I miss? I should say that if there's a card that you think should have been on this list, there's a chance that it was in my unmentioned honorable mentions. I just wanted to keep the list clean. Also, I'd like to ask you to like the video if you haven't already. subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If that's something that you would like to do, you do have the freedom of choice here, but it would be greatly appreciated. Also, down in the description, the link to my socials. I have TikTok if you're interested in that. I'm on Twitter, and I've just started a Discord. Link in the description. Join if you'd like. There's no paywall, no Patreon or anything like that. But anyways, that's a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. It's appreciated. As always, the show's over. Peace.